Hey guys, so welcome back to another video of Mafe tries to post as much content as possible series. So for this video, we're talking about something I've been meaning to try posting for a while, which is to share tips on my 5 healthy habits that I try to incorporate into my daily life. Emphasis on try. So these are like things that I've learned from my past experiences and also tips that I've actually gotten from my own therapist. So I thought of sharing this with you guys in case you guys want to try it out, because definitely it's been helping me out. So to start off with our first healthy habit, it would be the 5-minute rule. So basically this rule means if I can do a task or a chore in just 5 minutes, I might as well just do it. After all, it only takes like 5 minutes, right? So one of the examples that I've laid out here is washing my own dishes. So I honestly hate the idea that after I cook, I need to clean, and then after I eat, I need to clean. But nothing's worse than facing a whole mountain of like dirty dishes just because I ignored it, and risk the possibility of having cockroaches swimming in the pile that I made. All of that chaos honestly can be avoided by simply taking 5 minutes of my time to wash the dishes right away. I also use that as kind of like my mini break from like staring at like a screen for too long, just to slow down and reset for a bit. Weirdly enough, despite the fact that I'm doing a chore, it actually feels refreshing, especially with how fast-paced everything's, been nowadays. Like, who would have thought you'd be at ease doing the dishes and it'll only just take me 5 minutes? This also applies to like my work or my tasks at work. If I have like a huge pile of things to do, I try my best to pace myself. I start with like the easiest task that can be done in 5 minutes and then move on to the next. It's kind of why also the Pomodoro method works so well. Breaking things down into small chunks helps prevent, burnout. And sometimes all I need is just 5 minutes to get started, and once I'm in, I've got the rhythm and the rest just follows. Now, for the second healthy habit that I personally love out of all 5 would be journal writing. So this is a habit I didn't even realize I've been doing for almost all my life, literally since like my grade school days. Now I don't mean like writing a full essay about my day like what you would do in a diary. For me, it's about having a physical space to write down thoughts, anything and everything. I use my journal when I'm feeling a lot, when I have random ideas and I don't want to forget them, or when I just feel like doodling in general. Writing or sketching things out clears my head and helps me validate what I'm feeling. Sometimes I even look back and find things like, oh yeah, this is the first time I doodled how I wanted my PC setup to look like. It's like my very own personal time capsule. Although that doesn't mean I always look back at everything that I've written down, because sometimes they can be cringe, but at the end of the day, it's like having a nice paper trail to kind of look back at. So out of all the habits I'm sharing today, this one is definitely my favorite. Because again, I feel like it gives me something physical or tangible to work with. As for my third healthy habit, it would be breathing exercises. This is something that I learned from my therapist and is like the simplest thing to honestly do, but we sometimes forget. In terms of breathing exercise, we would be looking into the 4-7-8 method. So this method basically means you inhale for 4 seconds, and then you hold that breath for like 7 seconds, and then you try to exhale everything for 8 seconds. Now, when it comes to exhaling for 8 seconds, you don't want to exhale everything in one go. You want to really try to pace it out and exhale in a controlled manner, so that when you exhale, it's not just like under one breath, but it slowly comes out, just like how your problems and all the things running into your head slowly get out of your system. Or at least that's how I like to see it. So for me, I believe that this is a method that really helps when you're about to go to sleep, or if you're feeling overwhelmed or anxious, whether it's about school or work. This really gets to clear my headspace before I get to like say or think or do things in general. Like, as I've written down here, breathing exercise help clear my head so I can think and decide on things better. It's such a simple thing, but it works. Because sometimes when problems pile up, we literally forget to breathe. So this is your reminder to take a step back and try to do some breathing exercises because it really helps, especially for an overthinker and anxious person such as myself. The fourth one is something that I low-key struggle with, and it is to find a hobby. Now, for those of you who personally know me, you might know the multiple hobbies that I have, whether it's like doing pottery or building Legos or doodling or doing photography, videography, honestly, anything and everything under the sun. My problem is I have too many hobbies. I'm basically what they say or what they call a jack of all trades but master of none. But in general, having a hobby is great. So these are like some of the reasons or Google research that I found as to why it's good to have a hobby. And the first one is that it reduces stress and it gives your brain a break. And this is so true to me because sometimes you just need like a little break from the world, like just a pause and like try to do something you like or something you're interested in or you're something passionate or doing something you're passionate about. And by doing this hobby, it really does reduce a lot of stress that you're going through. The second is that it keeps you active, especially if it's something that's physical, like sports, whether it's like joining a run club or maybe climbing or swimming, anything. Any sport you can do would be good for the body because not only does it like keep you busy, but also it helps like keep you physically well. And the third one is it helps you develop skills and boost creativity. Like for example, when it comes to doodling, one of the hobbies that I like to do, it helps me refine and make my art skills better. I'm not saying that it's the best, but it's nice that you kind of like really get into it and try to refine your skills when you do it, like with my doodling. It also helps me be more creative with how I want to execute my own work. Last one, out of the many positive things that you can get from finding a hobby, is that it really helps prevent you from boredom and honestly doom scrolling, which I would say is one of my main problems. Like I have this tendency to doom scroll instead of like wasting time on the internet just doom scrolling. I could have used that time to be more productive and do a hobby that I like. What I'm trying to say is that there's so many hobbies out there. Experiment and find what matches your interests, and you'll never know, you might even surprise yourself. The last healthy habit on the list, which I believe is the hardest habit, is to give yourself love. So I've always been the type to find beauty in others, but I always seem to struggle to see it in myself. And I know that's very cheesy, hearing that out loud, but nothing is more true than that statement, in my opinion. But it's 2025, and we're working on that. So I practice self-love through affirmations. And this is actually by saying them out loud. One of the ways that you could do it that my therapist suggested is you can try to talk to yourself in the mirror. I am caring. I am loving. And I am confident. This is so awkward. I feel so awkward. Even just doing this makes me feel awkward, but it helps. It feels different also when you're saying it out loud, which is not easy. Honestly, sometimes I laugh at myself because it's kind of weird hearing myself say all of these affirmations out loud. But even then, it's also quite uplifting, which is obviously the goal, right? Of saying these things out loud. It feels like I'm low-key manifesting those positive things or these positive traits into reality about myself. Of course, I remind myself also not to let it get into my head because sometimes some affirmations can lead to being too proud of yourself, which can also be bad. So definitely a good balance of giving yourself affirmation is healthy. So that's it for all 5 of the healthy habits that I'd like to share with you guys for today. And because we're only human, I just want to remind you that sometimes things don't always fall according to plan. Key to doing these healthy habits is actually doing baby steps. You don't have to start all 5 at once, just try one habit at a time. choosing to be better, even a small way, at least what I think, is already a big win. And hey, the fact that you're even watching this video means that you're already most probably interested in improving yourself. That's big for both you and for me. So that's mainly it for this video. I hope you learned something new or at least enjoyed hanging out with me. If you want more videos like this or have a topic in mind, drop it in the comments. And if you can, please like, share, and subscribe because it will really help my baby little channel. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next episode of Mafe tries to post as much content as possible series. Okay, thanks. Bye.